Hey everybody, welcome back to the Fourth and School podcast. What's up? What's poppin'? It's a nice little Thursday morning. I apologize for sounding a little sick. I've got a cough going on. It's a little terrible on my part, but I'm gonna push through this. Um, Today I'll run through some of the spreads for the this week's college football and NFL games. Got a fan question. So we'll just kind of jump right into. I'm gonna keep this quick. I got some homework to get back to, but um, since college football starts on Saturday, I'll go through that first. There's about 4 games I've got my eye on this weekend. Again, I've got Wake Forest. That'll be their first road test of the season. Wake Forest has the ability to put up points. They put up 51 a couple weeks ago. It'll be fun to watch. That I think Notre Dame will win, but I think Wake Forest, just because of how Notre Dame's played so far, I think Wake Forest can keep it close. Um, Michigan 4 in the country right now. They're heading into Indiana. Indiana's 3-0. Both teams look pretty good to start the season. Indiana is coming off a big win at Ball State. Michigan State has had a couple close games. They barely beat Utah State to open the season, and I think they lost to Arizona State the following week. So I think Indiana might have an edge here being at home. I think they can kind of surprise some people around the country. It'll be a good game to watch. A nightcap game, Stanford and Oregon. They're both ranked in the top 20. Stanford's at 7. Oregon is at number 20. Stanford's quarterback, C.J. Costello, he's considered a pro prospect, and so is Oregon's Justin Herbert. He's rated the number 1 quarterback in the country by most people at this point. It's at Oregon. I'm going to give Oregon the edge, but I do like that matchup. It'll be a watch in the evening. Unless, of course, you're watching Louisiana Tech and LSU, as I was asked to discuss. And they're allegedly the 2 best teams in the country. LSU's ranked number 6 right now. They're at home. They're playing Louisiana Tech. Obviously, I think LSU's going to kind of blow them out of the water. That defense is insane. But yeah, that'll be a fun game to watch. I think the LSU offense is explosive again now that they have a capable quarterback. So, but yeah, on the whole, college football is not very good this weekend. There is Texas A&M at Alabama, but I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna just say Alabama smacks A&M pretty easily. Jimbo Fisher. It'll be a big test for him. They already lost at home to Clemson, so I can't imagine what's going to be like on the road to a better team. But with that, I'll just jump right over to some NFL. I've got all my game picks here. I'll run through that real quick. Tonight we've got the Jets and Browns. I've got the Jets. They're 3.5-point underdogs. I think they're going to actually win this game outright. Sunday, I've got the Bills and the Vikings. The Vikings are 17-point favorites at home. I do think they cover that spread. I think they're a much better team. I think they're going to be hungry coming off of a tie. I don't think the Bills have anything. It's going to be a really tough test for Josh Allen. It'll be the best defensive line he's played, because remember, last week Joey Bosa didn't play. So now he's going to have to face Everson Griffin, Sheldon Richardson, and Daniel Hunter. It's a lot of speed and a lot of strength coming at him. The Giants and Texans, I do have the Giants covering the 3.5-point spread, but I don't think they're going to win that game. I think they lose it by a field goal at the end. 49ers and Chiefs, I've got the Chiefs taking that 4.5-point favorite. I think they blow out San Francisco. I think San Francisco is going to put up some points, but that defense isn't very good. Pat Mahomes is going to keep on rolling. I've got the Saints covering the 4-point spread against the Falcons. However, I think the Falcons still win that game, given that it's in Atlanta. I'll say it's 31-28 Atlanta. There's still a lot of question marks with the Saints. I think they can keep a game close. I'm just not sold that they're going to be able to win the game. I think this is their first road game of the season, but it's a big one. It is their second division game already, so it'll be a good one to watch. Packers at 2.5-point favorites at Washington. I like them to cover that spread. Washington looks terrible so far this year. Aaron Rodgers, they're on this bum knee, then he's going to be he's risking further injury. But even if he wasn't playing, I would probably pick Green Bay to cover the spread. Colts and Eagles. Eagles are 6-point favorites. I like them to cover that as well. They get Carson Wentz back. I think he's going to utilize all of his weapons. The Colts don't have a very good secondary, and I think Nelson Aguilar is going to have a great game in the slot. Raiders at Dolphins. Dolphins are 3-point favorites. I like them to cover that. I'm not sure the Raiders have any sort of pass rush. Well, obviously they don't. And they're all the way across the country for a noon flight, or it's a 1 o'clock kickoff in Miami, which is 10 o'clock body time for the Raiders. They're gonna get off to a slow start. I think the Dolphins can pull away. I've got the Bengals covering the 3-point spread against the Panthers, but I think the Panthers win. I think it's going to be like a 28-27 type of game where the Panthers hang on late. They need this win badly, coming off of a division loss. But I think Cam Newton and the Panthers get the job done. Titans I have as a 6.5-point underdog against the Jags. I think they cover, but I think the Jags win. Patriots last week, big. I don't know if they can do that again. I think the Titans pass rush is definitely a lot better than what New England had. Harold Landry looks great for them off the edge. I like them to at least keep it close. They're probably not going to at least keep it close. They're probably not going to – I think what's going to happen is it's going to be, Jacksonville's up 2 touchdowns all game, and then in the last couple minutes, Tennessee goes down and gets a field goal, gets the ball back with a couple minutes left. They get another touchdown, and they cut it to 4. They're not going to be, within a field goal the whole game, and then they just die out at the end. It's going to be kind of a late comeback type thing. Got Chargers and Rams. The Chargers are 7-point underdogs. I'll take them to cover that in the game, but I do think the Chargers have the secondary for the Chargers is definitely capable of slowing down the Rams' offense. Let's see. The Cowboys and Seahawks. I'll take the Cowboys +3. I'll have them winning that outright. Their pass rush is definitely capable of dominating the Seattle offensive line. I think Russell Wilson's going to be scared. He's going to be running for his life. I think DeMarcus Lawrence has a big game, so I'll take Dallas here. I have the Bears and Cardinals. Cardinals are a 4.5-point home underdog. I do think that they cover that. I don't know if they're going to win, but I think they're going to need to get some sort of spark, and I think guys are going to realize that, hey, if we don't start picking this up, we're going to be in jeopardy jobs. So I think the Cardinals keep it close. They probably lose this by a field goal. The Bears they're not capable of putting the foot on the throat. As we've seen against Green Bay, they blew it in the fourth quarter, and then they almost did the same thing against Seattle. So I don't think they have the ability to just kind of keep pushing forward and taking the opponent out of the game. Sunday night, there's the Patriots and the Lions. Patriots are 7-point favorites on the road. I like that. I'm gonna pick them on the spread for this one. The Lions just don't look like they have a defense right now. They've gained 8 points so far in 2 games. I think New England's just going to be able to tear them up, especially if Josh Gordon plays. We'll see if he has a small package that gets him on the field a little bit, but that's kind of a no-brainer for me. And then the Steelers, I have covering the 2.5 points and beating the Bucs and ending that reign of Fitzmagic for Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay can keep it close, but I think Pittsburgh, they have a lot going on. I think they're going to need a big win to kind of tie things together in the organization. But that'll be a good game to watch Monday night. Before I go, I do want to answer a little question about my opinion on sitting versus starting a rookie quarterback right away. For me, I think you have to be in the right situation. With a guy like Pat Mahomes, the Chiefs at least had a capable veteran in Alex Smith to where They didn't have to rush Mahomes, and look, I mean that's paying off great dividends. But then, I mean, Mitch Trubisky, they tried to sit him. His starter didn't pan out, and they turned to him like week 3 or 4 last year. That's just, it didn't work. He was kind of rushed into it. He was expecting to sit out. So for me, it's not about the talent of the player itself. It's about kind of the situation you're in. Like personally, I wouldn't put Josh Rosen in if I was the coach of the Cardinals right now, but as a fan, I would definitely want him in. It's boring to watch Sam Bradford. You're not winning games. You're not even putting up points. And Josh Rosen, I think, is capable of doing it. But I think you're better off probably letting him sit, even though the offensive line's not going to improve in just 1 year. I don't know. I'd just be skeptical to throw him out there, especially with that division there, and they've got a lot of good pass rushers. It's just gonna. I think you can kill a guy's confidence that way. With Josh Allen in Buffalo, he was clearly the better quarterback on the roster. So yeah, you have to. They should have started him week 1, in my opinion. You have to kind of see what you. I like that Baker Mayfield's not playing. Tyrod Taylor, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league. And I think Baker's in a very good spot to where he doesn't have to consider playing right now. He can kind of sit and learn from a pro. But yeah, and in general, it really just depends on the situation you have in place, not really the team you have in place. So, like next year's guys, I don't necessarily think any of them are day one starters. But if the Giants draft a guy in the first round, and Eli stays, then you can afford to let Eli at least start the first couple games and see how it's going. But now if a team like New England drafts a guy and Tom Brady retires, that guy is going to need to play right away because he's going to be the best quarterback on the first round, or at least you would hope so. So, yeah, that'll kind of do it for today. I just had to get that out there, get my game picks. So, I'll see you guys next week. And yeah, I'm going to go write this paper and probably get like a solid B- on it. So, shouts out to